Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Beasley?
Here.
Mr. Eric Jones? Mr. Eric Smith?
Here.
Ms. Beth Lawson? Here. Ms. Vicki Caryville? Here. Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Here.
Mayor Stixberry?
Here. We do have a quorum. Mr. Smith, you say open a prayer for us, please, sir.
Bless the Lord, once again, bow our heads for you. Thanks and praise for the blessings we work on us. Let's pray go with us, bless us, be a light to those in need. Give us wisdom and insight being here tonight to the best interest through thy name. Fear, Lord, we ask and pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. All right, give everybody a few minutes to look over the minutes of the prior meetings. There's a couple. Let me know when y'all get done with that. All right. So everybody had a chance to look over? Anybody need any longer? We good? Do I hear a motion to approve as presented?
I'm making a presentation tonight to the mayor, and I'm wondering,
Discussion?
at some point, would you mind taking?
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Okay, there you go. It'll be.
All right, citizens input. Anybody like to address council?
Yes, hello. My name is Sarah Faust. At the last meeting that you guys had, it was over a disgruntled neighbor that, I'm the one that does the Airbnb
Yes, ma'am.
in Caryville. And so I was just gonna present to you the positives about it and just kind of talk to you guys about it. And how it's not commercial activity and how the benefits of it and that, and what was the other thing? Was it? Yeah.
Well, I wasn't here last meeting, Mr. Smith, you was. I have to, I guess, refer you to our attorney, because there's nothing that we can do right now, because, Adam, can you enlighten?
We're currently and I've talked to
Yeah.
Sarah, and I've told her, we're currently working together to get an ordinance to see if it passes or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still in the works. I think we'll hopefully have at least a draft by the next meeting. I don't know exactly
Okay.
when that date is. But as I also stated that last time, I'm convinced that it's more of the whole disgruntled neighbor, and now you're a disgruntled neighbor because of them, and so I still think my quote in the paper is still, to my knowledge, true, that you guys will have to file an action in
Sure.
Chancery Court to determine whether or not it's a commercial activity.
Right,
So
right.
that's because everybody's deeds is on file at the Campbell County
Mm-hmm.
Register of Deeds, and so I don't know that we would exactly have any authority to do anything at this point.
Sure. I wasn't expecting you to do anything today.
Right.
I was just going to, there was for example, there's a Knoxville ordinance that does Airbnb, and it's specifically for short-term rentals, and I just had it, and I think there are amazing benefits to it, and I hope there is going to be an ordinance in for specifically short-term rentals, because then it can be regulated as far as the safety, as far as safety measures go for specifics, like inside the house, kitchen, like a fire extinguisher and things like that will have to be approved in order to have a short-term rental. And that's kind of what you're talking about. And it just to prove that short-term rentals are not considered commercial activity I still reside in that home and I just rent it out. So my mail gets there, my kids go to school across the street. So it's not, legally, it's not considered commercial activity. It's under the same of the laws as long-term rentals. And neither of which has anything to do with commercial activity.
Okay, like I said, that is something that, like I said, we are in the process of working with the attorney to get that ordinance in place.
Sure.
And that's something that we'll have to work on and then go by Adam's guidance on what we can and cannot do.
I assume you have a handout for all of us?
Hey, I do have several handouts. Some of it is like just the Airbnb benefits as far as the community, and it's got statistics on in here as far as like Airbnb, and then here's the short-term rental advocacy center as far as like affordable housing, as far and how short-term rentals are not considered commercial activity. So this one is too. Here's a bill that passed in Nashville stating that allowing for short-term rentals as well. And here's another ordinance in Nashville that also passed. And then, a lot. And here's the Knoxville ordinance that is more of like that I think that you guys should definitely get in place here in the Campbell County.
I've spoken with Chris Caldwell about that, and he said anytime we wanted to talk to him about how Knox County does it, that all we do is go see him.
Yeah, here it is. Here's the Knoxville ordinance on how they determine short-term rentals and everything that they have to put in place. Now, obviously, if there's HOA fees and stuff like that, then that doesn't apply to the ordinance. It definitely works against it. But if not, and it has like on here, the ordinance has a residential. So if you reside in the home and if you do not reside in the home, it's still considered short-term rentals, and it's still considered a residential, and it's not considered commercial activity. So, and then some of this is just kind of, here's one of the laws that passed that said the Short-Term Rental Act classified the short-term rental as not considered as a hotel and therefore not considered commercial activity. And this passed in May of 2018. So there's several things there.
I think George Lockwell, who's in our planning commission,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've spoken to him or not, but
I haven't.
he's spoken to several cities and has researched other cities of our size, what they're doing, and
Sure.
what kind of ordinances they have, and he's going through that, and I'm sure he's
Yeah.
gotten with you.
That's wonderful. And I'm really glad. I hope it's going to bring a lot of revenue in, because a lot of times with Airbnb, most people, and I've got the statistics there, I can't remember off the top of my head, but a lot of times they will come in and because they're not spending as much on a hotel, they'll put it out into the community, and they'll be more likely to go to places to eat around here, go into activities, going to Twin Cove, going to all the local restaurants, and that will boost the revenue of the town and the tourism of the town. So it's definitely a win in taxes. Yeah.
But we won't draw taxes like a hotel motel tax off of the people staying at your place.
No. I do think that I have to reach a certain point before I do report any taxes. I think it's $10,000 before I report any taxes.
Anything over that, I think our Airbnb will automatically send you a 1099.
Yes, you're right.
So you don't have to have a business license to do that?
No, I don't. No.
Unless we put in the ordinance that we require.
Right, exactly. And here in the ordinance, it says that you have to pay, you have to buy a permit, you have to pay, there's like all of these measures that you have to do.
Did you get a county license already?
I did get a county license, yes. Yeah, I did, yeah. But that was before I actually did the research. I just did it just to cover all bases, basically. I did it prematurely before I actually thought that I didn't have to have a business license. So, yeah. But yeah, in here it says, that there's, you have to, it's a short-term rental act or a specialized one that you have to pay for, and you have to have that business license, and then you have to pay taxes to the county, you have to pay a fee, I think every year, I think is what I saw. So, I mean, there's definitely benefits to it if you guys can get the ordinance passed, but I just wanted to come and chat with you guys.
Airbnb is collecting your taxes for you.
That's correct.
And they will be sending them to proper place once.
Yeah, that's right,
So
the
are you
state
sending it
tax.
to Campbell County,
Yeah.
probably getting something since you registered as a business license up there.
Yes, yes. After I make so much money, then yes. But the state tax gets money. The state tax
I
gets.
think that's for the IRS if it's so much. I think the other is like, they go ahead and cut you. You know, when like, if I was
Yes.
gonna rent your place,
Mhm.
then they go ahead and cut the taxes.
Yeah, the state does. They do it. The Airbnb does occupancy
But as far as
tax,
that
and
I think that's the 10,000 that you're talking about.
yes, yeah. Airbnb, when you book it, it automatically takes that tax out each time. Each time that when someone gets someone books it, we'll get the Airbnb automatically takes that money out.
So we just need a tracking system so that that money comes back to our city is the reason we need to get everything in place. so
Sure,
that
absolutely.
We get our share of
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
we're due.
Absolutely. I understand. Well, you have any more questions?
No, but I could, as soon, it may take us another month or so, but,
That's fine.
we're working, working with Adam and with our planner to,
Sure.
to make sure we get it right when we do it.
Absolutely. I just wanted to make a face I know most of you. I know Vicki, and I know you from school, and I know Tricia, and I know you. We've met a few times before, so I just wanted to come in and meet you guys personally. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Okay, anybody else? Okay, communication from mayor, like I said, we have the budget has been submitted. We are waiting to get it back from the state. Other than that, we're moving right along, so, financial report.
For the month of June 2019, in our general fund, we have $855,000, $855,080.35. Reserved for rainy day fund is $150,000. In our fire protection fees that we have received this year is $46,253.86. We've spent out of that money this year $402. The fees available is $123,442.68. Our adjusted general fund balance is $581,637.67. In our State Street Aid Fund, we have $69,165.04. In our industrial fund, we have $23,614.18. In our drug fund, we have $20,433.85. For the month of June 2019, our revenues are $140,256.85. Our expenditures are $103,433.11, with a difference of $36,823.74.
Really good.
Pretty good. So this whole year, with our budget being $1.4 million, we've also expensed $1.4 million. The difference, like, will be over $2,000. So we've done very well.
So we should be at 100%, we're at 100%. Okay. There, motion we approve the financial report.
So moved.
I'll say, we'll say, no.
Discussion. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, reports of council members, Mr. Lawson.
Okay, the monthly report of May and June. We had 50 ton of garbage, 3 ton of recycling, 12 ton of brush, mowed throughout the city, picked up brush throughout the city. fix ditch on Johnny McGee Industrial Park, fix the slide on Lakeview Road, clean and mow Asbury Park, start replacing tile on Elkins Road, cut and haul off 2 fallen trees on Mountain Road, ready to be killed throughout the city. That's all I got.
All right. Anything for,
One thing I want to say about industrial there, it's not really industrial, but it's, well, it is, it's on the way in, but it's the trees that they're in front of the, where Mr. Go's gonna move his ATV place and the Mexican restaurant. And, I called TVA about getting those trees removed so that they could have better visibility there. And he said, they don't normally do it just for businesses coming, you know, just for a request. There's the environmental stuff that has to have a study done on it and those type of things. But he said, he gave me another guy's name, and I called Mr. Go and left a message with him. They need to get an application to complete, to fill out, to start the process. That it's maybe a lengthy process, but it can be done if there's no environmental factors that, you know, might be in the way. So.
sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Are they willing to pay?
The leisure or something?
He said it would be the liability of they will not pay. It would be the responsibility and liability of the business owners.
That's all we do. Thank you. Ms. Beth, library?
We had 1,924 items checked out, 1,521 items checked in, 494 ebooks checked out. They added 39 new patrons. They added 70 items, 351 computer users. They borrowed 22 books, held 30, programs held 39, program attendance 690, with a total library attendance of 1,927. They had 137 patrons sign up for their summer reading program. And it says, we're so grateful for the support from our council members and our community for helping in making this program a success. I know they've had a lot of events this summer.
Yes, they have, and what, 1,900, almost 2,000 people. It's amazing. They have done an outstanding job.
Yes, they have.
They really have. Mr. Smith, police department?
The monthly report for the Caryville Police Department involved officers responding to 343 complaints, 17 of accidents, involving 16 arrests, 5 of which were drug arrests. Officers wrote 47 citations last month with a total of 8,193 miles patrolled through the city. And take a second just to brag on the police department. I've had several people make comments in the last few weeks of the job that's been done. Ryan can go into detail also with some stuff they've been involved in, but tell them appreciate it. A lot of times we oversight the darker moments to reference to the police department, but I've had multiple people giving praise to the job they've been doing. I like this person telling me.
Street department too has been working really hard since we've had all the flooding and the rains. Trees down.
Fixing to put your signs up.
They're working on putting our welcome to Caryville signs up. They've been working hard on that. Hopefully, a couple of 3 more days, you'll see the new welcome to Caryville sign. We're excited about it.
All right. You also have the fire department, Mr. Smith?
The monthly report for the Caryville Fire Department involved 1 false call, 1 tractor trailer fire, 1 brush fire, 3 smoke alarms, and 8 vehicle accidents, and assisted the police department 1 time for a total of 15 calls for the last month.
So everybody's been busy, looks like it is the summer. Mister, you have anything, Patrick?
One little thing, just to make it officially part of the record, talking about the ADA compliance with the 2006 grant. Literally all we're waiting on now is for Rogers Group to come do what they said, and we will be able to check that off, and that grant will be complete so that we can move on in the future.
Well, good. That's great. So get that filed away and start again. Thank you, Patrick. All right, there a motion to approve all reports?
Make a motion.
I'll say.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, any old business?
Something with old business, and we discussed with the alarm. And this was something that's, as far as old business, and that we're supposed to schedule a second test the year we've not done. So I'll get with Eddie and try to in August. And it won't be as intense as what we done last time, sitting up everywhere in the city, we just need to do a functionality of the alarm. So we'll get out and get some letters to the citizens before we sound the alarm off.
But it would be nice, you know, if Jacksboro would do it at the same time we did, so we could see, you know, just how far, if they meet or if they don't, if there's
We'll
a
work-
section left out.
We can
or-
work with Jackson and the fire department, see if we can schedule that together. But we will try to do that in August.
Okay, then after that, hopefully we'll have a set every 6 months, hopefully.
At least once a year.
At least once a year, okay. All right. Thank you, Eric. Any new business? All right. I guess number one, before we get started, Senator Yeager, you called and said you wanted to come tonight, so do you have anything for us, sir?
Yeah, I do, Mr. Mayor. I have a presentation that I would like to make, but before I make that presentation, since I'm here, if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to try to answer them. It's good to be here again. I enjoy these meetings. You have every reason to be very proud of yourself. You run the city very well. I'm very impressed. But if you have any questions or anything I can help you with, anytime you have a grant application, if you'll call us or write us or email us so we can make some calls on your behalf from our office, always remember to include us if we can help you in any way. But I'm very impressed with all the reports I heard tonight. Anybody have any questions?
Could you call TDOT on our behalf sometime?
You know,
Several things, not just, I know you're aware of the one, I-75, and I know you're
Painfully
aware
aware.
of the road going into the industrial park.
Yes.
But also the interchange, you know, that getting off of 134 exit out here in front of Shawnee's.
Yes.
The length, you know, extending, because they're hanging out to the highways now, and that's, you know, it's
Okay.
dangerous.
Yeah, I can do that.
So, you know, it's a matter of funding. I think it was 2014 or 13.
Almost 7 years ago.
It's been, well, okay, it's been longer than I thought. The engineers did a plan, and they put us on the list. But then the funding, you know how that goes, the funding's pulled back, and then they put us back on the I-75 Improvement Act, and I think they pulled it back again because of all the flooding. And I know priorities, you know,
What's the priority? Yeah.
it is priority to us.
Do you mind, Vicki, if you would send me an email? I think you have my email. Would you send me an email telling me what you just said tonight?
Okay,
And we'll get on to that.
thank you.
I'm glad to do it.
Well, we're glad to have you with us, sir.
Well, is there any other questions or comments? Well, then I do, if now approach, is that?
Yes, sir, come right on.
But I do have a presentation to make, and it may last 3 to 5 minutes if that's all right.
That's
'cause I-
fine, take your time.
I wanted to read it, if I
Okay.
may. And, it's a presentation honoring your mayor, Bobby Stooksbury, for his heroism earlier this year. I'd like for you to come up here. Is it all right? Would it be out of order for you to come up here and stand by me? You know, he's nervous. He doesn't know what to expect, really. All right, if I may, and I wish I didn't have to wear these glasses, but I do. All right, this is Senate Resolution 85 to honor Caryville Mayor Bobby Stooksbury for his heroism in saving a life on February 1, 2019. You know, whereas the state of Tennessee is blessed with dedicated firefighters, diligent public servants, and everyday citizens who are willing to risk their personal safety, even their lives, to come to the aid of persons who are in distress. And whereas Bobby Stooksbury exemplifies all three of these vocations. He's the mayor of Caryville, a member of the Caryville Fire Department with 45 years of firefighting experience, and an outstanding member of his community. And whereas on February 1, 2019, Mayor Stooksbury utilized courage, training, and skill to save a woman's life in the midst of a house fire near his home. After hearing the 911 call at his home and realizing the address was near his own, Mayor Stewksbury leapt into action and arrived at the scene in minutes. Whereas he opened the front door of the home, black smoke billowed out. Visibility inside the house was zero. Mayor Stewksbury immediately dropped to his knees and began crawling, as firefighters are taught to do, and attempted to find the occupant inside by establishing verbal contact. And whereas finally locating the woman with this method, Mayor Stewksbury dragged her from the burning building to the front door where a police officer helped him move her to safety. And there can be no doubt that Mayor Stewksbury's training and experience as a firefighter were invaluable tools on that fateful day. And whereas although he's been active as a firefighter for 45 years, this is the first occasion on which Bobby Stewksbury was able to achieve the firefighter's ultimate goal of saving a life. And later, in a surprise ceremony arranged by the Caryville Fire Chief, Mayor Stewksbury was honored for his heroism and bravery, and with a life-saving award plaque, pin, and ribbon. And whereas we in the Senate wish to likewise extend our gratitude and approbation to Mayor Bobby Stewksbury, now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the 111th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee that we honor and commend Mayor Bobby Stewksbury for his heroism in saving a woman's life during a house fire in Caryville, and thank him for a dangerous job well done. Signed by the Speaker of the Senate and the Lieutenant Governor, Randy McNally, and Senator Ken Yeager. And I want you to take this, Bobby, with you are a true Tennessee volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
members.
Thank you so much.
Oh, she's asking, yeah, I will. And where's that? I will take her picture. Here, hold that out there where they can see that. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Are you ready?
I didn't know it was gonna cost so much fuss.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. That was unexpected again. I appreciate that, sir, and appreciate the Senate doing that. Like I said, that is the ultimate goal, to save a life. So, thank you again.
You're welcome.
All right. Number 2, Chris, I'm not even going to try.
Oh, yes.
Okay. With community development to discuss recreation grant. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I'm Chris Olgues. I work with Community Development Partners. As all of you know, our company did the Parks and Rec Master Plan for Campbell County and Caryville last year, and that produced recommendations over the next 10 years for Caryville to possibly pursue projects within your corporate limits and take those projects and apply to the state of Tennessee TDEC for an LPRF grant, a 50-50 grant. So one thing that our company is doing right now is we're reaching out to clients and telling them to, or asking them if they have any potential projects that they have in mind to go ahead and start thinking about it now. We are about a year out, but these are probably the most intensive applications that we do of any grant program. So it does take a long time. So right now we're just kind of getting everyone together and trying to focus our efforts on, if you want to pursue a project, now is a good time to start thinking about it. The Parks and Rec Master Plan, I know we had a couple of recommendations there, one for Asbury Park and another one for the development of a future park. And the good thing about the LPRF program is you don't have to just choose one or the other. You can mix and match if you want to. You can do some with Asbury and some with the new park, or you can do one or the other. And another thing that is important, I know at the end of the day it comes down to money. The good thing about planning it right now this far in advance is you can have at least 2 or even 3 budget cycles to budget your money for this. So as long as we're doing it this far out, you can stretch out your local match would be 50%. You can stretch that out over 2 or 3 fiscal years. So we want to make sure we're getting out to our communities and letting them know that, so if they want to start thinking about what they might want to do, they'll be able to have a better idea of how they're going to plan to pay for it, so. And I'm also here to answer any questions you may have. I know that we're still working on the 2006 grant to get in compliance. Right now, we are out of compliance with TDEC, with RES and that, but as soon as Rogers Group is done, you guys will be back in good shape again, so.
Okay. Well, that is, this whole project has been Beth and Vicky's, I guess, work, job, dream, whatever you want to say. They have spearheaded this whole effort between the two of them. And they have any questions, you two probably the ones that would have the questions for
No,
Chris.
because, well, that's two separate things. The grant that he's talking about is the grant that me and Patrick were doing for Asbury Park, that
Okay,
10-year one.
right.
The other one is the one me and Vicky's doing on the other part.
And he said this could be shared
Yeah.
amongst both parts, so.
Yeah.
Because technically, the one that you are working with the design center on,
Mhm.
it's kind of referenced. There's no cost estimate or conceptual drawings in the master plan that we did, but it's still referenced as a recommendation. So if you apply, if you want to do work there, it's listed in there. You can reference this, which RES wants to see. They want to see you reference a project that's actually in your master plan.
Can we apply for several grants like that? Say like, can we apply for a grant that's just gonna be over there at that ball field and then apply for grants that's just gonna pertain to something we're doing over here? Or can we only do one grant?
Well, for LPRF, you get awarded one, and you've got to close it out completely before you can apply for another. But like I said, you can do both parks if you want to. If you want to do one grant cycle, you want to split money at this park and that park, you're more than welcome to do that.
That might be an option. And I like the 2 to 3 budget cycles to allot our share instead of one big hit.
Exactly, because applications will probably, we're not quite sure yet, but they'll probably be due this time next year. And then it takes another year to get the contract. And then it's a 2-year contract, so you can really space out the local match.
Okay. But, well, there's as far as I'm concerned, we'll apply for anything we can, all I can say is no.
We have big dreams, don't we?
Yes, we do.
If you want to dream big.
One thing I do want to say though, RES, you do have Asbury Park. What they're going to want to see, I think, if you decide that you want to work on the new park, they will want to see you make some sort of ADA upgrades. And I think we talked, Rogers Group may actually be handling the ADA upgrades from phase 1 that we produced in the master plan. So that's a good thing, but I think RES will definitely want to see, ADAs are a big buzzword, that's what they're focusing on, so.
Rogers Group, at least from the walkways perspective, we'll probably have to work on the restrooms ourselves.
Right. And of course, you don't have to necessarily do the restrooms, but we will, if you want us to talk to TDEC and see what they think would be your best option, I think they're definitely going to want to see some ADA improvements with the existing park, but, you can just do some things here and some things there.
Okay. Well, that's something, I'm glad you came early, because like you said, it's a long, drawn-out process.
It is.
You've got to get ready, you've got to get everything ready before you get ready to even apply.
Absolutely.
So I would suggest you get these 2 ladies, and they will work with you on what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Chris. All right, number 3, council discuss applying for a TML and the pool safety grant 50/50 match, approved resolution number 2019-02. This is the same safety grant that we have applied for many years. And how much?
I did find out it's
Fif-
classification 4,
It's
so it's up to 3,000.
up to $3,000. It's 50/50, so it costs us $1,500 if we go for $3,000. That's split between the fire, police, and public works. So I hear a motion, we apply for that grant and also approve resolution number 2019-02.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones? Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Vicki Gavitt?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. Number 4, council discuss fiscal FY 2018-2019 line item budget amendments. And this is what we do every year. This is the housekeeping in the budget.
This is just house cleaning. This is just doing in each department, just line item budget amendments.
That's done every year.
So we're over in legal services, $4,000 due to that first one, general government.
General
We
government
transferred out memberships and computer and clothing into legal services.
transferred from legal services.
Okay.
Yeah, so memberships, and copier and clothing, that's what was over
Okay.
in those amounts. So we pulled legal services out, 4,000 to cover those
Okay.
in the same department. And with your other general government, your health insurance, that is because our employees, we started out with 12 to begin with, and we ended up at 15. So for the whole entire year, it went from 12, 13, 14 to 15. We've had more employees than what we actually budgeted for. So we had to pull that health insurance, and TCRS also went over.
Any other questions?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2019-02.
What we just did.
Oh,
Yeah, we done it.
so we just need to make a motion to
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 approve the
approve
line
it,
item.
budget.
yes.
I'm missing it now. Did three go?
Oh, it's down, after this one.
No, that's four.
Four.
Alright, Rescind, make the motion to approve the fiscal year 2018-2019 line item and budget amendments.
Okay, do I hear a second? Discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Beasley?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Vicki Godwin? Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Sixpair?
Yes, motion carries. All right. Number 5, council discuss first reading of ordinance 2019-04, amending the annual operating budget for FY 2018, 7/01/18 to 6/30/19. Again, that's housekeeping again in the budget. It's done every year. Anybody has any questions for Teresa on this?
With the first two being on with the home grant, we expensed out 43 and our revenue was also 43, so that pretty much counts. We just have to show it. And then with our mixed drinks, our pass-through, we got to increase it by 500. We didn't budget enough for that one, which is an unknown for year to year.
That's the part that goes to the schools.
Yes, after that goes to the schools.
Yeah.
Well, that's where it's supposed to be. We seen it, so where it goes back down.
So we got the library grant also on there. That's the one that we did not budget for, that we didn't get it there, so it's on there too.
Do I hear a motion that we pass on first reading ordinance 2019-04?
I'll make the motion.
Second motion.
Discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson? Yes. Ms. Vicki Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. Number 6, council discuss purchase of backhoe. Mr. Lawson.
I think David can tell a bit more about what we need to purchase back.
We are basically down with our backhoe we have now. No brakes.
Okay. Probably what we need to do is, you know, we knew last year that it was on the slice legs, as they say. And what I would like to do, since it is basically down right now, is I'd like to have a motion to, I'd entertain a motion that we, as soon as we get our budget back from the state approved, that we go ahead and purchase, place the order and purchase that backhoe.
What do we do until then?
Well, we may have to, if you're, may have to rent one, Dave. If we're down, you just have to, you know, call Stowers and see if they've got one that they can let you use until we can.
We got to go down the state bid.
Yeah, it's on it's state contract. So,
And as soon as the state approves their budget, we can go ahead and go.
correct.
Dave, how long would it take to fix the backhoe? When we, our backhoe, fix the brakes on it?
It seemed like it took him about 2 weeks the last time I did.
So we need one for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Unless we get the budget back tomorrow, then we
Right,
have,
well,
then
that's true.
yeah.
But then how long does it take to order one and get it? 2 weeks?
Probably
2
couple,
months?
you're probably talking, well, what do you say, Dave, couple of weeks to get it? If we was to place an order, couple of weeks probably. You're looking at 2 weeks either way.
Yeah.
You're looking at 2 weeks either way.
How much
He
does
said
it
he
cost
was-
to rent a backhoe? We've done it before.
It seemed like it was 1,000, 1,200, something like that. wasn't
Well, since we're in the process of purchasing one, we might be able to get a little deal from him. He may float us one a little bit better price since we're gonna purchase one from him.
Yeah, we may need to talk to him and see if we can get a little loan there, since we're gonna purchase one.
Okay,
Give him a call tomorrow.
okay.
Can you not, like, call him and, I mean, I'm sure if it's somebody that's with the state, you could say, this is what we want. Can they not have it ready for when the budget's approved and then it just
it?
be
He's
like,
working on it now.
done?
Yeah, yeah, that's-
where it could be like delivered sooner?
Right, that's basically what we're waiting on the budget, and, you know, they had me and Lloyd talked to him, and, he said it'd take a couple of weeks, once we called and said we're ready for it, it'd take him at least a week or two to prep it and get it out here.
He said he would take it on his own and go ahead and get it on the lot.
Place it in stock.
Yeah,
Yes.
stock. Because he said he wouldn't have no problem getting rid of it if we didn't take it. So it's gonna be there.
So
Probably already done.
whenever we call him, we should have it in a week,
Or maybe
Oh.
the next day.
next day. So is that in form of motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Second motion.
Second. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Vicki Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes. One thing, I should have brought this up just now, but I didn't. Excuse me. I apologize. Brian, was it last year or 2 years ago that we was going to order a car and we got caught in the year model change?
Yeah, the price jumped up on us
Right,
by the time we was able to order one, a
right.
couple years ago now.
That's what I was
And it's
thinking,
this,
man.
it's this time between July and August, they do away with 1 year and go into the next year.
Okay. So, in order, and I'm just talking for myself, I'm just open for discussion. To me, instead of getting in that shape again, where we get caught in between model years, I would entertain a motion to also go ahead and when the budget's done, to go ahead and order the police vehicle that was in the budget also, because, so we won't get caught in that in that model year switch.
If I ordered one today, they said, I actually talked to him, it's 11 to 14 weeks to get mine back.
So,
Don't we need to do a motion to add that to the agenda?
yeah. Do I hear a motion to add that
I'll
to the
make a
agenda?
motion to add that to the agenda.
Second motion.
Is that just that particular vehicle, or would that be any vehicle?
The B vehicles, they're doing the switch, and when they put them on order, they're on order. But the police responder F-150 is special, might make special order as well. They don't usually have them sitting on the lot.
Okay, call roll to add that to the,
Mr. Patrick Pegley?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson? Ms. Vicky Gatterly?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
yes. And thank you, Vicki, for keeping me straight. All right, now, do I hear a motion to also place the order for the police vehicle when the budget is,
Approved by the state.
yes,
I'll make that motion.
do I hear a second?
Second motion.
Discussion, call the roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Pegley?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson? Ms. Vicky Gatterly? Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, all right, motion carries, thank you all. Number 7, council discuss Attorney Adam Bullock Legal Services Agreement. Okay. All right, this is an agreement, Adam, go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't even bring a copy, but what it basically says is I've kind of taken that from another entity that I've dealt with before, and it just kind of protects you all and it kind of protects me if we get into something that falls outside of the normal scope of me, of course, talking to you, talking with council, communicating with Teresa, which we do a lot, and Jordan. If I get stuck doing something that's above and beyond, then, you know, I should be compensated for that. I mean, at least that's my theory. And it keeps, I think it protects me, it protects the council from getting themselves maybe in a situation where you get an unexpected bill or something like that.
Okay.
And that would be, you know, I could do that if I went over just each month instead of that way we know where we stand. I'm not coming here necessarily asking for more money. I mean, I get paid $400 a month to do this. But if it's something that goes above and beyond, you know, I probably got 40 emails from Jordan in the last month talking about the Airbnb stuff and the other ordinances that we're just trying to work on to get up to date on things. You know, I keep track of it and present it to you all and see where it falls. I don't think it's going to be a every month type issue where I'm a whole lot over. But if something comes up, we have something in place that protects both of us. That we have an agreement in writing, and I always try to have an engagement letter with my clients that protects me, protects everybody involved. That's my theory. I mean, it's open to suggestions, but I drafted that like a few months ago, I think. And, y'all can look at it and discuss it. I mean, we don't have to do anything tonight. I don't care.
Would y'all like to have another month, some more time to look over it
I
before we
think we need to table it.
table it to next month?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. There a motion to table that?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Uh,
All right, we'll get it next week.
Very well, very well.
Okay, being no further business, I hear a motion we adjourn. All in favor say aye. Okay, what I'd like to do though, before everybody gets gone, I'd like to have a executive session with the attorney for a legal matter, please, for about 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
It'll take about 5, and we need to have a executive session.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Hi, nice to meet you.
5 or 10, whatever.
Yeah, sure. I